Israeli airstrikes pound Lebanon and Gaza. Israel launches new strikes in Beirut. The Israeli military says it struck over 3,200 terror targets since ground operations started in southern Lebanon on October 1st. About 300 were hit in the last 24 hours, the Israel Defense Forces said. In Beirut, at least 4 people, including a child, were killed in an Israeli strike outside Rafik Hariri University Hospital, the Lebanese health ministry said. The IDF said it hit a Hezbollah terrorist target near the hospital. Israel's military also alleged a Hezbollah bunker is located under another Beirut hospital, but Sahel General officials insisted the claims were baseless, and that Israel made similar allegations in Gaza before targeting medical facilities. Meanwhile, the UN warned almost no aid is entering the Jabalya refugee camp in northern Gaza as crowds of displaced Palestinians were evacuated en masse on Monday. UN's Palestinian Refugee Agency accuses Israel of blocking aid to northern Gaza. From CNN's Irene Nasser and Kareem Kader. The head of the United Nations Palestinian Refugee Agency has accused Israel of preventing aid from reaching northern Gaza, where hundreds of thousands of people face a dire humanitarian situation amid a renewed Israeli military offensive. UNRWA Commissioner General Philippe Lazzarini wrote in an X post on Monday that Israel continues to deny humanitarian missions to reach the north of Gaza with critical supplies including medicine and food. UNRWA's remaining shelters are so overcrowded, some displaced people are now forced to live in the toilets, Lazzarini added, as he urged Israel to allow access for UN teams. Denying and weaponizing humanitarian assistance to achieve military purposes is a sign of how low the moral compass is, he said. Assistance must reach everyone in need in Gaza, civilians, including children and the hostages. Some context. Lazzarini's remarks are the latest in a string of warnings from UN agencies about the deteriorating situation in the Palestinian enclave. On Sunday, the UN Human Rights Office said Israel's military operations in northern Gaza may be destroying the Palestinian population through death and displacement. CNN reached out to the Israeli military for comment on the OHCHR statement. As Blinken heads to Israel, U.S. is unclear about what coming weeks hold for Hamas and Gaza talks, official says. From CNN's Kylie Atwood. Secretary of State Antony Blinken walks to board a plane en route to the Middle East as he departs Joint Base Andrews in Maryland, on Monday, October 2nd. Secretary of State Antony Blinken walks to board a plane en route to the Middle East as he departs Joint Base Andrews in Maryland, on Monday, October 2nd. Nathan Howard, AP. As U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken heads to Israel, President Joe Biden's administration is unclear about what the coming weeks will hold for the future of Hamas as well as Gaza hostage and ceasefire talks, a senior State Department official said, according to Press Pool. While the U.S. is trying to take advantage of Hamas leader Yahya Sinwar's death to push the Israel-Hamas conflict closer to a resolution, the group needs to figure out its leadership in order to get back to the table, the official said. Right now, the U.S., Qatar and Egypt don't know who is calling the shots for Hamas inside Gaza, the official said. The U.S. cannot say whether the new leader of Hamas will ultimately be able to consolidate power over the group to agree to a ceasefire and the release of remaining hostages, meaning that the possibility of productive future negotiations is not certain, the official explained. Blinken will also be discussing the day after, or post-war, plans for Gaza that the U.S. has been working on for th.